What is going on, everybody?
What's up? What's
Welcome to
up?
the party, pals.
What's going on?
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever in the world you are. I'm sorry, this is not mine. My apologies.
Oh, wait a minute. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are or whenever you are. Welcome to Slay Security Plus. I'm going to get the intro out of the way so that we can just hang out with my two friends and two inspirators and some people I look up to in the industry, Casually Joseph and Eric Taylor. Both of Barricade Cyber Solutions are joining us for the live stream tonight. This is Slay Security Plus. We are the community-driven initiative with the sole purpose of not only building community and mentorship, but helping you pass your Security Plus exam for free using the best study resources that we can find so that you don't have to pay a dime. That's what we do. That's what we're here to do. That's what we're going to do tonight. I'm really excited. We're going to do some performance-based questions all night long, rock with some official CompTIA material so that you out there, the audience, the people that are getting ready for your exam, can see exactly what these questions look like, kind of how they're worded, and kind of how CompTIA does things, right? There's a difference between how it's actually done in the industry, and we know that there's a difference between that and how CompTIA wants you to learn for an exam. So I'm joined by my friends here, Casually Joseph and Eric Taylor. Gentlemen, how are we doing this evening?
Doing well, sir.
Doing all right. How about yourself?
Good. Hanging. Got to chat with Joseph for a minute offline on a classic cell phone. Played some guitar. It was nice. We're joined tonight. Laura Flores, I see you in chat. Space Tacos, Justin Rohrer. I see Casually Joseph. I see Justin Gold stopping by, and many, many more will continue to pop in and fill chat as we get going. Slay Security Plus is proudly sponsored by Simply Cyber. So if you're looking to up your level in the game, join the inclusive community, but more about Simply Cyber here when we get to the mid-roll of the show.
That means that Slay Sec Plus is pseudo-sponsored by Barricade Cyber.
Hey, I've always wanted to say that. I just haven't, That's funny. That was a good one. Joseph.
It's a ripple effect.
Yeah.
How are you doing in chat? Let us know how your journey's going. If you've tested, if you're just here for the community, for the jaw jacking, please, we enjoy it. We love it. But let us know. Holy crap, Eric Taylor, Space Taco says, the one and only.
Space Tacos is such a Eric Taylor fan.
I don't get it. I'm just a guy that's grumpy most of the time.
That is true.
For me, tonight's drink sponsor is Red Bull, classic go-to Red Bull. And then I got my always cup of coffee here. And there's some water floating around here somewhere. I have been on a mission. I've been applying for a few jobs. I might have some good news coming up, but I don't want to spill those beans quite yet. But in that application process, continue to refine those skills, which means that I have been staying up really, really late. Working on web app pen testing, website development, and really kind of getting my hands dirty with some basic coding. That's what I've been doing. And then I took a little bit of a break from that and was kind of looking at security engineering, managing alerts, how it works in a SOC, just getting prepped up for big boy cyber jobs. Justin Gold, I'm eating tacos right now. What kind of
He's
tacos?
already checked out.
Well, we were trying to get him on the show, but he said that he needs to work on his setup or something like that.
Excuses.
I managed to stream in that wood panel 70s trailer.
You did?
Yeah.
Yeah, no excuses, Justin Gold. We need to get you on. You need to get with the program. Hey, Vance Lopez, welcome to the party. Cool. Well, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I want to get right into tonight's study session. We're keeping it simple, but we're also going to keep it official tonight. I'm really excited. I've been doing some contracting work with somebody that's in the cyber community, and payday came up and they said, hey, how do you want me to give you money? And I said, you know what? I love getting money. I love paying the bills, but I really want to take Slay Security Plus and help people understand what PBQs look like and work through those on a more foundational level. And so I went and bought the official CompTIA, the whole Cert Master Learn package. so that we can start working through these on Thursdays, incorporate that with our other study materials. But this will get everybody a little bit familiar with just how the CompTIA interface looks and how that all kind of rules and rocks. I'm going to soon. Do what? Be on the stream or need a room?
I'm messing with Casually Joseph and Space Tacos.
Oh, okay. I thought you were messing with
they're fanning it up on each other.
Love it. Love it. All about good times. Let's start off with some practice questions. Okay, so normally, if you've been tuning into Slate Security Plus, you know that we use the VVOC system where you can just vote your answer in and it's all anonymous. We're going to roll old school today. We're going to go through the CompTIA questions, and you are welcome to put your answers in chat, right? So put your answers in chat as we go through these. Avoid the lemming effect just because somebody puts in an answer. If you're not sure, try to do some research on your own. You have time. Jump on Google, jump on ChatGPT, look up these answers, but really try and think for yourself. So let's start with, I don't know, what do you guys want to do? Let's start with incident response and monitoring concepts. Do you just want to
We have no idea what any of that is.
Yeah.
Well, we got some of those experts here, so let's look at that. Let's go into
You're gonna pitch us a hardball right off the bat.
Practice category. So
this is where we learn we know nothing.
these are just practice questions, folks. These are just for fun to kind of get us going. All right, let's rock and roll. If the screen is small, let me see if I can make it just a little bit bigger. Go. Here we are. Let's roll. This is it. This is the thing. In cybersecurity investigations, why is it crucial to ensure admissibility of digital evidence collected from computer systems? A, digital evidence is often visible to the naked eye, ensuring its authenticity. B, due process and the fair application of laws require proper handling of digital evidence. C, the location and identity of threat actors are easily identifiable through digital evidence. Or D, threat actors can tamper with digital evidence without affecting its integrity.
I gotta Google what admissibility is real quick.
It means that it won't get thrown out of court because you followed the chain of command and that you collected the e-discovery was done properly.
It was collected. All right, so let's talk through this thing because I've not spent through a time or two in a court appearance. Digital evidence is often visible to the naked eye, ensuring its authenticity.
One sec. We got Jack Scott in the house. I want to say what's up to Jax. I love what you all are doing for the community. Love
Smiley.
You,
Yeah, there's Jax.
Love you, Jax. Are you gonna be at Wild West Hacking Fest again?
I hope so.
She will. She's speaking.
You are?
Oh, yeah, she is.
Let's go.
My Smiley is speaking.
You'll finally get to meet her.
Yeah. Just like Gerald, go clear across the country just to meet people.
Yeah, go meet Jerry Ozier, the guy that lives like 20 minutes away from you.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
halfway
listen, Jack.
across the country.
She's probably about 8 hours away from us, roughly. She's somewhere on the East Coast, unless she's moved recently. But anyway, number A. It's kind of a vague answer. I'm not really gonna go. Is this a multiple
Let me
choice
see. Pick one.
answer?
Let's make sure. Yeah, it's just a pick one. This isn't so I will preface, these are just going to be warm-up questions. They're not even technically practice test questions. We'll get into those a little bit later. These are just quiz questions, just to get you thinking about the 701 objectives and get you thinking about cybersecurity. They're just more like little quizzes.
So, due process of fair applications of laws require the location and identity of threat actors visible. So, can tamper with digital evidence without affecting its. Okay.
So,
I can see where this is the one thing that always drives me nuts with CompTIA. The wording on these tests can definitely throw you for a loop.
I feel like I've said that before.
Mm-hmm.
yes, 2 Cyber Chick shirts. Let's go. That's a fun podcast. What's up, Vance?
All right, I've got my answer.
Okay, I got my answer too. All right, if you want to answer these questions, feel free to drop them in chat. I know that it can be a little bit intimidating coming into the exam and you see your name pops up with the answer and maybe you get it wrong. Hey, we're all here to learn. You've been on stream when DJ BSEC has gotten questions wrong. If you saw me when I streamed last year at Wild West Hacking Fest, Dr. Ozier got a question wrong. Zach Hill got a question wrong. We get questions wrong all the time. That's part of learning. If you're getting everything right, you're not learning anything, right? If you're the smartest person in the room, find a different room. So my brain tells me, and you guys can agree or disagree, I'm leaning towards, well, let's go through the question. Why is it crucial to ensure admissibility of digital evidence collected from a computer system? Because if it's not admissible, if it's not collected properly, it'll get thrown out of court. And if your evidence gets thrown out of court, there goes your case, and the bad guy literally gets to just walk out the doors with his hands in the air being like, you didn't collect it properly.
Can't catch me. I'm a gingerbread man.
Yep. All right, I'm not seeing any answers in chat. We'll give you another few seconds to answer this one. Hello,
We're seeing a couple of people say B.
Raji, okay.
Yeah.
I'm leaning towards B as well.
So am I.
Okay, let's lock it in. Final answer. B. Laura Flores says B. Okay. Confirm. Cool. Due process demands that incident response teams handle evidence collected in cybersecurity investigations meticulously and fairly. Due process ensures that individuals are only convicted of crimes based on unbiased and admissible evidence. And here's the other catch. If you get some evidence that is admissible, and let's say you get part of it that's not, all of it gets thrown out. It's called fruit of the poisonous tree. So you got to remember that. Like,
well,
and I don't know if that's the same thing with cyber investigations.
Yeah, that's different. That could be a different podcast. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. But just remember that. And I don't know if you have to abide by the fruit of the poisonous tree in cyber investigations. But
it depends.
It depends on what part is untruthful that we'll throw out.
Okay.
So
if you lie about how you collected the evidence,
then all of it's gone.
Then it's all gone.
Yep. If you misstate, pivot points of like RDP or PS exec, stuff like that, then no. So
okay, yeah, I'm more leaning towards you didn't follow the correct due process in collecting the evidence.
Yeah.
So digital evidence like DNA or fingerprints is latent, meaning the naked eye cannot see it and requires proper interpretation using specialized processes or machines. Digital forensics helps reveal the location and identity of threat actors through a systematic investigative approach, and if they have hidden their information. If threat actors tamper with digital evidence, it affects its integrity. And how can you tell if the integrity is being affected by maybe a file or a picture? Hashes, right? That kind of goes back to hashing your hashes, and we talk about that quite a bit. Ensuring evidence integrity is a critical aspect of digital forensics, and tampering would compromise the evidence's authenticity and reliability. Guys, you have anything to add to this question before we move on?
No, but I would like to comment on Laura Flores because she stated if you have a warrant, you can only collect what's specified in the warrant. That is a different type of forensics case. This is typically a broad stroke for this type of question, right? Yours is more of a civil case, not like a business. Yeah. So you're collecting evidence based off of seized assets or things like that, like in a police proceeding, things of that nature. So
when it comes to business operations, typically when Barricade is called in, correct me if I'm wrong, they just give you the green light to take evidence from basically whatever you need, so long as you are allowed to do so. Like if it's not a controlled asset with like private information on it, and even then you're typically allowed to collect evidence off of it.
Man,
outside of government cases with CUI,
Yeah.
Okay, this is awesome. Yeah, because Laura Flores, I agree with you. In a criminal case, in CompTIA, we're told you can only get what is specified on the warrant.
Yep.
And so you make your warrants, you look for an elephant, not a pencil, right? Because if you look for a pencil, all you can get is a pencil. You go on with an elephant on that warrant because where can an elephant hide?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure, and I would have to dig the book out, but I actually have a book that is more about public sector forensics, digital forensics, that is. When they make the warrants, they don't get specific as saying computer or saying phone. They say electronic devices, so that you can collect every peripheral, every anything that's considered an electronic device.
Copy.
Yeah.
The K Bandwidth has joined the stream. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, the K Bandwidth. Welcome to the party. Hi, all. Nice to see you stream. Needed company. Likewise, it goes both ways. I can tell you that. All right. A cybersecurity analyst at a multinational corporation detects abnormal network activities that indicate possible security breach. The analyst investigates and confirms that an unauthorized person has accessed sensitive customer information. The incident response team must act fast to contain the breach and stop further data loss. What should the initial first what should the initial responder do first? Okay, what should the first person do first? A, disconnect the affected server from the network, isolating it from the production environment. B, notify law enforcement authorities about the incident to initiate immediate action. C, restore the affected systems from secure backups and recover and eliminate the threat. Or D, initiate threat hunting to find evidence of tactics, techniques, and procedures proactively. Well, probably should have thought of that ahead of time. Whoops.
Definitely not the same question.
Nope. Oh boy. That was a fun question too. I don't think we're gonna get back to that one.
Shenanigans.
Dang it. Okay, I got these little buttons on my mouth.
The answer was A, you're going to disconnect it from the network.
Yep. So I'm going to just do my best and then you guys can stop me or shut me up. I'm going to go just from what I've understood from my short time practicing cybersecurity and helping businesses. The first thing you want to do in the incident response process, the very first thing is plan, right? Have an incident response playbook, have some kind of know who the people are that you're going to call, who you're not going to call, who needs to be informed, and that all happens before there is ever an incident. The next stop is if something does happen, and obviously we have analyzed and determined that there is in fact an incident, the first thing we want to do is contain. And by contain, that just means disconnect whatever system or systems are off the network to avoid further spreading the malware or whatever it is, ransomware. Don't turn off, okay? So don't turn off, and the reason is because there is valuable evidence that is stored in memory that's in RAM. What services or what programs are running right now? Do not turn off your system. So pull the Ethernet cable, cut the Ethernet cable, turn your Wi-Fi SID, whatever it takes to disconnect. Go to if you have a way to get into the networking, isolate that through VLAN, segment that however you can, but don't turn it off. And then we want to go to continue to look through the systems, and is there malware we want to eradicate. We want to recover from good backups that have been tested, not just backed up and stored in a shed somewhere, but they've been tested. And then after that, we'll have a conversation regarding lessons learned and how to not let that happen again.
And if I may, real world scenario, I mean, that's kind of a dated, but real world scenarios now, you'll be using an EDR inside of your organization that allows network containment. So your affected device can still beacon back home, and you're able to remotely pull those logs that you need to without it being able to communicate with other devices inside of your environment.
And on some of the, sorry, Joseph, on some of those dashboards I've seen in kind of like preparing and training, you can isolate a box or a system by the click of a mouse from your.
Oh yeah.
From
you can have it automated. Depending on the severity of the detection, it can just instant isolate. And Eric, real world, real quick, what is the first thing people usually do when servers aren't acting right? When the initial compromise happens and they're trying to figure out what's going on?
They unfortunately reboot the machine.
No, what's I was gonna say?
Yeah, it's always rebooted. And as much as that sucks, memory forensics is my favorite forensics. I do have a favorite flavor of forensics. It's memory forensics. I will never be able to use it in the real world. I will never be able to use. Yeah, if I do, it's going to be niche cases. But because so often it is rebooted, those memory forensics are gone out of the window.
We got an awesome update here from Simone D. Thanks to loads of help from this group, I passed my Sec Plus yesterday. Woo!
Nice.
Let's go. Let's go.
There's that bear out of the way.
Yep. Now, and here's the thing. Remember, and you've heard this before, you've seen it on LinkedIn, you see people talk about it. You got your Sec Plus, that's just the beginning. Now the real work begins. The Security Plus is no more than hopefully a ATS scanner helps your resume out. It helps open up potentially conversations for possible employers, but really that's all it does for you. It is awesome that you passed, and now you've got that bear out of the way, because now you can start getting your hands dirty and adding that to your Security Plus certification, which is awesome. Congrats. Yes, very worth it. That's awesome. That's what I love to see. All right, we're going to do another question. A large organization's cybersecurity incident response team receives an alert indicating potential threat, act, or activity on one of its network servers. What should be the team's immediate action based on the incident response lifecycle? Almost the same question.
Mm-hmm.
A, wait for more alerts to confirm the incident before taking any action.
Some people do it.
Immediately disconnect
window.
the affected server from the network to isolate it. C, analyze the alert and its context to determine if a genuine incident has occurred. Or D, notify the executive decision maker to authorize actions before proceeding.
Ooh, you know what? Actually,
It says difficulty level difficult, so we'll see what they mean. And they have easy, moderate, difficult, and expert.
So,
okay.
go ahead, Joseph.
I'll
tell you real world.
Real world, I know what you're gonna want to do. CompTIA, I know what they're wanting. But let's go ahead, Eric. You start. I have my votes.
So it really depends on the organization here. If you have even a pseudo-structured incident response plan, even if it's been verbalized, option D is typically not an option, right? You're not going, hey boss, what should I do? Well, I think blah blah blah.
They hired you to not be that guy, actually.
Yeah, so there are some controlling factors, like if you're in SCADA, you're in ICS, you're in this and that, you may not be allowed to, because it will be detrimental to impacted services of a community, things of that nature. I know some of the DoD contracts that we've been talking to and working through, you're not allowed to unless it's a certain criticality, and that does require executive decision. But in a typical business scenario that has talked about this at all, option D is not there. It will be option B, that you're immediately disconnecting that affected server from the network to isolate it.
Now, my answer was C, is analyze the alert in its context to determine if it's a genuine incident or not. Because if you get a critical that's a false positive and you isolate a machine for nothing, now you've stopped production for no reason.
But how many times have I isolated servers?
I know. We're talking real world versus book here.
I'm torn between B and C, gentlemen. I really am.
The incident response lifecycle is detect, analyze, contain.
Yeah, if you do the life cycle, then yes, it will be C.
But in the real world, it is very much a different scenario, and it also does depend on what rights you're given in your IR plan.
Yep.
If you're an incident responder and you've been told that you must confirm that it's a 100% true, your hair is on fire before you can contain it, then that's what you have to do. But
Justin Gold coming in hot. Taking SCADA down usually means business is at a full stop. Fair.
Correct.
Yes.
Fair.
There are some systems that you can take down and you'll start killing people. I mean, but I think the right answer is C for this question, at least.
Final answer, locking it in at C?
Yep.
Okay.
For CompTIA, yes.
For
Yes.
CompTIA, yes.
Yes, all the things that we will do. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this for the first time, we're going through some official CompTIA training materials to get everybody out there, guys and gals, a good feel for how CompTIA language works. I've got two industry experts, people that work in the field. I'm joined by Joseph and Eric Taylor of Barricade Cyber Solutions. And so we're going to talk real world, but when we lock in our final answers, we are locking in how we think CompTIA wants us to answer. Let's go. Correct.
K Bandwidth is trying to say, and taking down the server won't be your call. It'll come after D. That again depends on your environment and what rights you have been given in your incident response. If you are given the call to just isolate machines, then you isolate them as you see fit. If you've been told that you have to answer someone, like for me personally, I know Eric does give me the rights to isolate end user machines, like normal user devices, if I see fit. But when it comes to production servers, I typically have to go, hey, Eric, I think this is an issue. Do we move? Because it's a level of importance situation. But if it was Eric driving and he sees the incident, he's going to slam the isolate button if he sees fit. So it really does depend on where your position lies. So you are both correct and not correct, K Bandwidth. It's a legal answer. It depends.
You've been on too many of my calls, sir.
All right, moving on. What is the primary risk when using the live acquisition method during a cybersecurity investigation? Again, what is the primary risk when using live acquisition method during a cybersecurity investigation? A, it may alert the threat actor and allow time for anti-forensic actions. B, it increases the chances of malware spreading to other systems. C, it only captures a partial snapshot of the system's state during the breach. Or D, it renders the evidence inadmissible in court. Difficulty level expert.
All right, so those who don't know, live acquisition is you're collecting forensics from a booted machine.
That's like
versus, shutting the machine down and what we call slave driving, or putting it into a cradle and using a secondary machine to actually collect a full disk image. In no way, shape, or form is that not admissible in court. If you're able to properly document in your timeline, in your forensics analysis, that's never been an issue before. As long as you're using industry, you're not letting a squirrel just type across keyboard or something of that nature. So D is definitely not there.
It only captures a partial snapshot of the system state during the breach.
C is not it, because if you're doing a live acquisition, you're running like Cape, or you're running Velociraptor or something like that. You're collecting isolated files. You're collecting Windows event logs. You're collecting SHRM data. You're collecting link files. You're collecting pieces of artifact for further processing. If you're going even more advanced, you're using a tool like FTK Imager, and you're taking a full disk image. So I don't jive with C at all. B, it could be, right? Was the device isolated before you start collecting the forensics? It could be that, right? And it could also be A. If you haven't gone through proper, if you take a look at CDK, where the threat actor was able to reinfect an environment, I fully suspect they did not do what's called proper containment inside the environment. Threat actor seen it and was able to knock them on their butt again. So me personally, I could see A or B being this, giving certain scenarios.
Primary risk. We alert the threat actor. My primary concern would be that we're going to spread more.
I'm thinking CompTIA is probably going to want to go with A, because you're tipping the hand of what you're potentially doing.
Okay. Affecting
your forensic process.
Oh, you can. Oh, cool! Look at this, guys. Sweet.
Simon D says he thinks it's A or B, but based on the given info, maybe A. Exactly.
So the alternative to live acquisition is static acquisition, and that would be having a dead box, cold disk. You're plugging it into a drive bay and grabbing your forensics there. So I can definitely see why A makes sense. Because if you are in the middle of a live capture and the TA is tipped off, they're going to do something to try and mess up your forensics. Jesse's thinking B.
I'm locking in B, but I'm, for the record, saying that Joseph and Eric Taylor are going with A. Okay, so I'm locking in my answer.
It's D. What?
Bullshit.
Beep. All right, let's see what CompTIA says, folks.
Oh, hold on. I know what they're going to say. Because you did a live capture instead of a static analysis, it's dynamic, right? You can't give somebody the same. Someone can't come behind you and take the same capture because the machine is alive. So you can't replicate it because it's a live capture.
I'm gonna tell you right now, ladies and gentlemen in the audience, that's not the way the court system. It wouldn't work that way in a court system. You would literally tell people that you're running certain forensics tools that take a snapshot in time of that.
Mm-hmm.
I missed that one. The proper static acquisition method, Joseph.
Yeah.
Can capture a snapshot of the system state. The risk is more about mishandling the unplugging process, which leads to data loss rather than capturing a parcel snapshot.
So the only time that this is really going to be an issue, because if we were doing forensics for a business, because you have to take a step into the more criminal forensics mind here, Eric. If we were doing criminal forensics and I did a live acquisition of a box, I could say that I found a process running in memory, okay, and
Yep.
it's something that it's my key. This says that they're guilty. If you were my defense lawyer and you were going against me, you would say, well, I didn't have access to the box. It was restarted. We don't have the same hashed forensics image here. My image says that this process does not exist. So now we have two conflicting stories. And
But
so they're going to throw either of them out.
No, they wouldn't.
Really?
Because we've had that situation come up before where, it is hard. That is where the defense or the opposing counsel, I should say, whether you're on the prosecutor or the defense side of the table, you can't prove that negative, right? We have that capture, we have that hash value. If that hash value triggers also a detection in public cloud sandbox like Joe Sandbox, hybrid analysis, virus total, things of that nature, backing your forensic analysis, then that helps build to the credibility of the forensics that was collected. It's not a black and white in a lot of these situations.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can go back and try and prove why, but that is going to be a defense that's made. They're going to try and throw that bone in there, saying that they can't prove that was actually running. But
David Lamb, welcome to the party, pal. David Lamb says it's a sham. Wow.
that was a tricky question, though. I mean, I don't see why a D was right. Did we have an explanation over that?
We did. We can review it when we're done.
Okay.
We'll go back and review that one, and then I want to get into some PBQs. All right, last question of the warm-up questions. A major financial institution's computer incident response team, or Cert, is dealing with a complex cyber attack. The attack started with several spear phishing emails sent to crucial employees in different departments. These emails had skillfully crafted messages and appeared to have legitimate attachments. However, upon opening them, the initiation of a highly evasive and previously unknown malware launched. What steps should the Cert take in the containment phase of the incident response process to address this advanced attack? A, disconnect all affected hosts from the network and shut down all communication channels. B, use network segmentation to isolate and monitor infected systems to analyze the attacker's tactics. C, immediately restore affected systems from backups and apply patches to prevent further attacks. Or D, temporarily disable all user accounts and applications to prevent further spread of malware.
Go back up. Let me reread the question real quick.
how I would handle it.
All right, scroll down, please.
Containment phase.
I don't think it's A.
It's not A.
It's definitely not C. B, use network segmentation to isolate and monitor infected systems to analyze the attacker's tactics.
That is a tactic that people have
good
done,
one,
especially
too.
in financial.
This is a financial question, right?
Exactly. So
Yeah, but it's in the containment phase. We're trying to stop the spread, right?
but it does say what steps should the CRT critical incident response team take to in the containment phase
Right.
of the incident
Yeah.
response.
We're not trying to gather IOCs here.
Yeah, we're just trying to contain the blast radius.
Yep.
So
Stop the
I am
spread of the
saying
wildfire.
I am saying B.
I'm going with B as well. What is it? What does chat say? Space Tacos. D sounds like it would piss everyone off.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, because I mean, disabling all users. I'm going to
Yeah.
say that they're talking blanket, like entire tenant wide,
Right.
not
right.
all of the impacted
Right.
users.
If they said disable the impacted users' accounts and
Then I'd lean to
applications,
it.
I would lean towards D.
Mhm.
But I
A,
think
A
B
is
is the best
screaming
answer
at me
here.
too, though. I mean, disconnect all affected hosts. Doesn't say shut down, and shut down all
All
communication,
communication channels? So you want to
from
shut
the
down all of
affected
them?
hosts only. Because what if they're beaconing back to something to C2?
I don't think that's what it meant.
But see, network segmentation to isolate will also do that.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
True. Shut down all communication channels. When I read shut down all communication channels, I'm hearing turn off our email, turn off our Slack.
Right. I'm gonna go with B. I think that's a general consensus, and I think it's a healthy answer. Oops. Nope. Come on. Big bucks, no whammies.
There we go. Yeah.
Let's see what CompTIA wants us to know. And remember, these are quiz questions that we're going through. These are not supposed to be examples of practice exam questions. This is CompTIA's assessment phase, they call it. This is to see where you're at. But I wouldn't consider these practice test questions. They're just to get you thinking in the cyber world. Network segmentation is necessary to prevent malware from spreading and monitor its activity closely. Network segmentation creates a controlled environment that does not alert the attacker that the Cert is observing their actions. That's a good point. B, disconnecting all affected hosts from the network or shutting down the communication channels is not recommended since it hinders the Cert's ability to collect valuable information about the attacker's activities and tactics. C, restoring affected systems from backups or applying patches without proper analysis and understanding of the attack can lead to the same exploited vulnerabilities, especially didn't mention that
That's
it's
something that
basically a
happens all
zero
the
day,
time,
isn't it?
too. People love to get attacked and then immediately restore from backup, and then they'll just get attacked in the
Previously
same way over and
unknown
over again.
malware, so we can't even,
Yeah.
And then D is essential to strategically disable user accounts, right? So yes, disable accounts, but not all accounts.
Accounts, yes.
Yeah. I'm also going to throw this out here. If you restore from backup and now you've destroyed your forensics and they don't exploit you again, you're not going to know what kind of data they touched or took. Which is no bueno, because now if you have PII out on the dark web and you didn't even know that it was stolen, depending on what state you're in or country, it's gonna hurt.
Hey Bandwidth is asking a technical question, and I'll let you gentlemen answer this one. But if you shut it down, how do you know the attack is contained?
That's the trick. You don't.
I mean, technically, if you shut it down,
If
it is contained.
Yes, if you shut it down to the point where no traffic can go anywhere, it is going to be contained. But the incident response life cycle is not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then start back at 1. It's 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. And then you just repeat ad nauseum until the incident is fully understood and contained.
That's a good question.
I
like that one. All right.
You'll never know the full scope of the incident right off the bat.
Don't leave the page. It's spam. It's a trap.
It's cross-site scripting.
See, just like this, you're being hit with a phishing email.
What do you do?
Or is this the new CVE that we were talking about earlier this week, Jessup?
Oh yeah, don't.
Webpage loaded.
Yeah. I don't want to think about that one.
I still need to talk about that one.
Yeah.
So is that it for the practice questions?
Yeah, to get us going for practice questions. Let's go
We're
into
gonna pivot
some
to PBQs now.
PBQs. Yep.
I would love to do a tabletop exercise.
Assessments. What's this?
That one would be fun.
87 questions, hour and a half. So this is the practice test, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Can I start it? I'm just taking a peek. Start assessment.
Can we
Take
all
a peek
fail
is
this
how it
in
all
flaming glory status?
Do we want to answer one question for funsies? Or
Let's do it.
yeah, let's go to PBQs. Let's keep it on.
You're driving the boat, dude.
I know, but I haven't had this dashboard in a while, and I want to explore all of the. You guys are seeing it
There's
live
a
with me.
game center. What is that? Ah.
Would you
little
like to play a game?
memorization games? Interesting.
They do not have that for the 601. I don't.
I would
remember.
just print things out and do it without paying CompTIA for that.
Flashcard. Y'all better know this.
I don't know. What's a CIA? Is that like a spy agency?
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
All right, PBQs. Let's let's let chat look at these and see if there's anything that people want to do. Compare
There
and
are some of
contrast
them
security
that
control
would be
framework
easier than
types.
others.
I wanted to do the summarize incident response procedures and analyze indicators of malware-based attacks. And I'm driving the train, so that's what we're gonna do.
Oh, all right.
Choo choo.
All right.
BDS over here.
Here's our scenario, everybody. As a security analyst, you must investigate intrusions into your organization's extensive network and understand why they happen. Recently, a malicious actor infected 2 hosts, and you need to reconstruct the attack and its methods so that the network and users can have protection against future malicious activity. In this scenario, we will need to link the malicious actor and rebuild the attacks based on the defenses and vulnerabilities present in the exploited systems. All right, y'all. When you go to sit down for your 701 exam and you have the performance-based questions, you usually have between 3 and 6 at the beginning. This is very, very similar to what they look like. The scenario length, the depth of the question, the amount of options you have. It can be overwhelming. That's why I always recommend you answer the multiple choice first, because it gets your cyber juices flowing in your brain, and you might answer some of the PBQs with some of the multiple choice options.
I
balked
my 601 for so long because I was scared of the PBQs. I thought they were going to throw a firewall at me and just tell me to configure it from scratch, and I was not prepared for that. And then I sat down for the test and I got my PBQs and I was like, that's it. This is it. And
You had me at cyber juices.
Yeah.
Let's go. And then we'll get through this one, and then we're gonna chat says Space Tacos coming in hot saying identify types of vulnerabilities. That sounds like fun.
Oh boy.
Hey,
Yeah,
the
put
Rich
me on the
464.
spot.
Welcome back to the potty, pals.
Show how bad of a vulnerability manager I am.
I'm sorry.
Just
folks,
remember, I'm actually watching this, so if you fail this thing, we're gonna have to discuss some role assignments.
a
Look,
90-day review.
look.
All right. So we're gonna match the malware type, the attack vector, the delivery method, and the payload. All right. Scenario 1: victims' defenses. So this is what we have in place, the controls we have in place. Basic cybersecurity measures like firewalls and antivirus software. Victims' vulnerabilities, using a corporate email to register for business discounts on personal purchases. Carl? And then the malicious actor or the threat actor's goal: gain access to sensitive information like corporate data, intellectual property, and personal details. Malware type: bloatware, fileless, logic bomb, Trojan, virus, or worm.
Interesting. So they have firewall, they have AV. They're using a corporate email to register for business discounts on personal purchases.
Let's see what Vance Lopez says while we're looking at this question, and I won't put it on screen, but it says, my 601 testing experience was crazy. I skipped PBQs, finished multiple choice, went back to PBQs, and ran out of time before answering any. I was pleasantly surprised that I still passed. That is 100% possible, and good job, because a lot of people can't say the same thing.
Can we see what the other drop-downs hold? Attack vector, delivery, payload?
Yep, I just snagged my pinky nail and tore it off just now.
That sounds so fun. Ooh.
Attack vector, malicious jar file, malicious MS Office file, or malicious XML file.
All right, so we didn't have all this stuff back in the day when I did CompTIA, back when Moses carved out the commandments. What are we building a scenario? Or?
Yeah. So basically what we're doing is we're looking at the victim's defenses, what their vulnerabilities are, and what the goal is, and then you're using those to figure out what would be the best method of exploiting those vulnerabilities to achieve your goal while you avoiding those defenses.
Gotcha.
And they're using the biggest vulnerability here is that they're using a corporate email.
I feel like I have an idea of what we should go here for. Interesting.
All right, so go back to malware type, please. I say drop logic bomb.
Can't drop them, but okay. So not an option.
No, I mean select. No, use logic bomb. Sorry. Attack vector.
Malicious file, because so.
Well, malicious files should be essentially detected.
Antivirus.
I would say malicious MS Office file. Delivery method.
Watering
phishing
hole?
or hoaxing email. It could be watering hole.
Redirection, because they're doing business discounts on personal purchases.
That's where I was going with this.
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay. Payload.
This is very
keylogger. Keylogger is the only thing that makes sense on a payload.
For this one,
yes. My attack vector was going to be different. I was not going to say MS Office file. I was going to say a .jar or a .xml because of the antivirus.
The antivirus might not pick up the JavaScript. Yeah.
A lot of times the AV won't pick up embedded Office files either. Whatever.
I think we're going perfect world here.
Okay. Scenario 2. Only 52 scenarios. All right. Victims' defenses. VPNs updated with the latest patches, network security monitoring capabilities. Victims' vulnerabilities. Use of personal devices with miscellaneous unpatched software accessing a virtual event. And threat actor's goal. Loss of availability and financial gains by encrypting data.
So we want ransomware. Yeah. Yep. We want ransomware. Crypto ransomware. Yeah, it's just ransomware. Let's see. VPN's updated. They are attending a virtual event, so it's going to be a watering hole. Maybe.
Yeah, because virtual is not in person.
Well, yeah, but if they hit other people too, what's the problem? ransomware, I guess, would just be considered. What are the malware types here?
Malware types are fileless, logic bomb, pup.
It's gonna be,
It's
I guess, a
Trojan.
virus. They're typically delivered in form of Trojan, but we're not trying to get them to download something they trust. We're just putting malware on their device.
Use of personal devices with miscellaneous unpatched software accessing a virtual event. I could see Trojan.
Okay.
I mean, ransomware is a Trojan.
Typically, yes.
Attack vector. Again, jar file, malicious file, MS Office file, and XML.
I don't know.
I know.
This one.
Just having blank malicious file is kind of annoying, but
Yeah.
that could be.
I mean, if you're attending a virtual event,
You're going to be using .jar.
I don't. So this is just. I don't
Because of the
understand the
type.
scenarios. Like, I guess I wish I had more context, right? Because, like, let's just say hypothetically, this is a Zoom virtual meeting.
Then I would use just a file.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You wouldn't just drop a jar file or an XML file in Teams or Zoom or
Right.
GoToMeeting.
Right.
Mm.
It'll be an MS file. That's why or it's just a malicious file or MS file.
Yeah, and the thing about malicious Office file is that a malicious Office file is still just a malicious file.
It is. It's just a specific type.
It's a square and a rectangle over here.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I wish I had
tricky.
more context. I'm not sure how best to answer it.
The unpatched software is they threw it in there for a reason.
Unpatched software with miscellaneous unpatched software.
So you're just going to be exploiting an already present vulnerability. This
Can we
is tricky.
penetrate a VPN but abuse an old version? Java?
VPNs updated with latest patches, network security monitoring
Be right back.
capabilities. Use of personal devices with miscellaneous unpatched software accessing a virtual event. This is way too vague. Loss of availability and financial gain. So yeah, obviously they want ransomware.
I don't know, man. It could be XML. I just did a little, just a quick lookup because I was thinking about XML, and we can use XML for cross-site request forwarding.
Yes. What's the delivery method options?
Application, network, phishing or hoax, social engineering or watering hole.
Okay, they're wanting us to pick application vulnerability because of that unpatched software. They wouldn't throw it in there. Interesting. Attack vector.
Well, if we're talking applications, then it's either going to be JavaScript or an XML file.
Mm-hmm.
In my head.
I guess go jar.
Go jar? Okay.
I think so.
For the
I'm at a
record,
loss.
I'll put it in chat.
I'm not sure.
I think XML, so I'm gonna put that in chat. But we're gonna go jar because don't want to forget that. All right, submit it and see what we do. It's all about learning.
The first one.
And as much as we're trying to answer these for fun, this is also to give you out there an idea of what the PBQs look like and kind of how to navigate them.
Tough. This one's tough. I'm glad I didn't get something like this. This is way too open. Got 3 out of 8. We got the keylogger right. What was the?
Geez, the whole first one was tanked. Yay! I suck.
Well. Okay. Oh, we're reconstructing attacks. Okay. Well, thanks for that, CompTIA. Scenario 1, intellectual property theft by exploiting employee use of corporate emails for personal use. Using a corporate email address to register for business discounts or
would have
personal
been a
purchase
cross-site
use.
scripting style attack in my defense.
For business discounts.
This one wants a phishing email.
Phishing attacks. Cyber criminals actually monitor websites and offer business discounts. They scrape email addresses or purchase lists of emails associated with companies to build their target list. The attacker could use social engineering techniques to make the email seem urgent or enticing, encouraging the victim to take action. The phishing email contains an attachment that appears to have a relation to the business discounts the victim registered for. However, the attachment is malicious, right? It contains embedded scripts. Okay, so they're just saying malicious file.
So while they're doing that, I want to address something with Laura Flores. You know, if Eric isn't getting these, how are we supposed to get them? Let's just be clear.
Eric has his wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Sorry.
doing some of these. If you've been on Simply Cyber, I've talked about it many times. I am riddled with ADHD. I have never, ever been a good test taker. I overanalyze it. Like I personally, with these questions, like I said earlier, I need more context to the questions and what's being provided for me to actually understand what's going on before I can do an informed. 3 lines is kind of hard for me to analyze it properly. So
yeah, and to also put it out there, I don't know, were you ever a CompTIA test taker?
I did take an A+ back in the day, but that was back when it was just.
You've never studied for the Sec Plus.
No.
So you don't even know what they're wanting.
No.
So that does help. To ease your mind a little bit more, Laura, you have been studying for the Sec Plus. You may have had a better idea of what they were wanting, but this question was super ambiguous. They gave you no direction. I mean, you can take this 50 different ways with an attack, but I mean,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Me personally, I need more context.
Yeah. I will also say Eric comes from the school of hard knocks more than anything. You're not a very formal education kind of person beyond SANS, really.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, let's move on to the vulnerabilities one. Identify types of vulns. All right, Joseph. This is, in fact, I'm gonna do. No, I'm kidding. I was like, let's.
Oh no, my internet's going out. I gotta go. Oh, what in the world? All right, let's throw that thing away. What's this thing say? Let's look at behind us. Based on the scenario, use the checkboxes, best actions, remedy e-commerce company's shopping cart malfunction. This isn't, what in the world? Okay, this is more like bug bounty crap.
Yeah, I instantly thought of the ice cream shop.
Yeah. Okay, after noticing
shop
several disabled security features on the company's web server, what actions should... Let's try and read through everything.
And I want to just highlight what Space Taco said, because she's been in some other study groups, and something that has made point is like, problems with exam questions is to stay inside the box that CompTIA gives you. You cannot bring any what if scenarios. Problem is, particular box is super vague, which does suck. And I agree 100%. I
agree.
But that's true. Like,
okay.
I was doing the same thing as preparing, like, what if this, or in the real world this, or this is what I read on the. It's like, no, just go with what CompTIA wants you to know.
For others, let's go ahead and read through the scenario, but I have an idea of what they're wanting us to do already. You are a security analyst at an e-commerce company. The customer support team has received complaints from users who cannot check out the items saved in their shopping cart. A server admin disabled several security controls while urgently troubleshooting the issue. While the shopping cart now works properly, you must identify the disabled controls and identify ways to prevent similar problems in the future. This is out of my scope as a security analyst, I'll just tell you that much.
Tasks. Identify and revert the security features. List security features that the technician might have disabled or loosened, which need reverting back to the original setting. What the heck? Task.
Okay.
Tighten access controls. Let's see if we can fumble our way through this question.
After noticing several disabled security features on the company's web server, what actions should the security analyst take to reestablish fundamental security protections on the server? Okay, so fundamental. We're talking basics. Re-enable the firewall.
That's what I was getting ready to say. That would be mine. Is this multiple choice or just select one?
That looks like we can fill them in.
Oh god, is my actually going out? That's re-enable the IDS.
Is really
rotate encryption keys? Is that fundamental?
So is encryption keys disk encryption or SSL?
Right? Are we talking
or
data in
SQL?
transit? Or yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, are we talking database?
AV. I would, yeah, update your antivirus definitions. I guess if that has, they're saying disabled
Well,
here, but
and then Eric, this one right here, revert to HTTPS from HTTP covers
you
are,
definitely want to do that
are
one.
in transit.
You
But
definitely
you're gonna
want to
break
be.
so much stuff when you do that. Again, real world versus what CompTIA wants.
Yeah, but I'm telling you right now that if you're giving your customers an HTTP shopping site, you may as well just be telling them to print out their card number and give it to their neighbor.
Yeah, you just might as well just put up a maintenance window on your site.
Yeah. I think encryption keys is going to be really, yeah, as K Bandwidth said, they just put it SSH. That's what I would assume. Update AV definitions. Yeah.
With this
that
being
one's-
CompTIA, I will say, I mean,
I would say
real
yes.
world, who updates the definition anymore?
Because who's using an AV that needs definition updates on a server?
Whatever. Man, sorry, I got the sneezes today.
Yeah. To secure the web server after noticing an oversight symbol indicating improper configurations, which steps should the security analyst implement to tighten access controls? Okay. So yeah, RBAC.
I went with implement role-based access control.
Which steps to tighten access controls? Network segmentation. You don't want just every device being able to communicate to it. Review and
strict
update
passwords would be more
access
of an
permission.
betterment.
Yeah. Whitelist IP addresses for admin panel. That's an access control.
Yep.
And net segment.
You think net segment?
I do.
Implement network segmentation?
I do.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, yeah, it is tight.
It's an access. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an access control. Can you click implement net segment or yeah, there we go. CompTIA massive. They probably haven't seen the need to update the material. No, this is new. K bandwidth. This is all new. 601 was almost nothing like this. They update it every 3 years. They added AI and they added what else?
Well, AI, machine learning, a little bit more.
ML was on 601.
GRC, a little more emphasis on certain parts of GRC, but I can't. Yeah, there's a difference between thing.
Mm-hmm. They definitely keep it up to date. Is it always up to date? Not on the older ones. On the newer ones, it's better.
David Lamb, have fun catching the kiddo that's high strung. I feel your pain, 100%.
Okay. In reviewing the configurations on a computer, what steps should the security analyst undertake to effectively audit the current configurations and properly document the changes made? Oh boy.
Compare,
Go ahead
and figure known good baseline.
Yep. Because I assume what this is asking is that we are coming in to audit what changes have been made by somebody else. So compare the current configuration to a known good baseline. That's how you're going to know what's different. Document detailed change log and rationale. That's going to document what has been changed. That's your actual documenting process. And review logs to identify change.
Mm-hmm.
The other ones, that's for.
I mean, when you want to
testing
perform a
and
risk assessment,
that's not going to be auditing the configures. That's
before
you
at all
actually
of your
changes.
That's before we're looking at
Yeah. Okay. That's what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
To prevent
CompTIA.
I know, hey, Eric, I'm with you 100%. That's why we do this. That's why we're doing this,
Yep.
because we know that other people are terrified of the exam, and we want to try and make it so that people aren't, and they don't have to spend $500 for these training materials. CompTIA, talking to you. To prevent similar security oversights in the future, what proactive steps should the company establish?
Fire the CEO.
New CEO, you're canned.
This should be all
similar security oversights in the future. What proactive steps should the company establish? I'm assuming we mean what are we talking about here?
So in this one, I would probably do all but the backups.
Yeah, the backups don't really apply here. Because what happened is we need an IR plan. This is technically an incident.
Yep.
By definition. Regular training for support staff. Yeah. Configuration management. They're going to want you to say yes to that one. I don't know how many companies actually have configuration management that are below 500 users.
Implement a change management process. Yes, because didn't we have?
We had an admin basically tear down the server to get it working, and then we had to come back and rebuild it, essentially.
Okay, there we go. Go. Okay, so server admin disabled several security controls while urgently troubleshooting the issue.
We need change management. We need configuration management. We want to train our support staff to be able to handle this in the future. We want an IR plan. I think it's everything but the regular data backups, as Eric said. Yeah.
Let's submit it. Let's just see how many we can get right.
Yep. Fingers crossed.
Hey!
Oh, 15 out of 20.
I'll take it.
What did it want us to click everything? No. All right. Let's see.
So it wanted us to do.
Yes. I'm so stoked that we got we as a team that includes you out there. That we got the 1 and 3 completely right.
Yeah, we got 2 out of the 4.
See, I wondered about network NetSeg. I wondered about that one.
Which should be implement to tighten access controls.
Oh.
I can see why. Okay.
It's strict password policies. We knew better. We missed that one. I think that should have.
How is that an access control?
Yeah,
that's not an access control. I mean, in the more, does it say why that's an access control?
Let's look.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, this is why I don't like to take tests.
Enforcing strict password policies and implementing role-based access controls are critical for ensuring that only authorized individuals can access sensitive data parts and only have the permissions necessary.
Because if you don't enforce strong passwords, then what does your access control matter? I can see where they're going with that, but it's not.
And see, when I seen the access control, I thought it was permission-based access control.
Yeah.
Not security access control, right? Like you have permission to access this folder, this server, this item, right?
Right.
And that's really why I thought it was going down. That's why I didn't think passwords really apply to this scenario.
Okay, I'm happy.
World.
I'm happy. Justin Gold said that's 80%. I'm happy with that one, boys.
That's a good score for me.
Does that mean we passed?
Well, we passed this question. You guys want to do one more?
Sure.
Okay. I got the message from my wife who's in there making dinner. She said, "Be done by 6:15, please."
It's past that, you're late.
She said,
hello. She says, "Hello, Eric Taylor. Hello, Joseph.
Hello,
Katie,
hello, person."
Okay, let's roll. Let's do another one. Hey, good call, Space Tacos. That was a fun one. Let's do something maybe at the beginning. Let's see if these are. I want to get one with.
I feel like I need a drink.
It's only Thursday, Eric. You gotta wait one more day. But every day, an instant response is Monday. So,
that's why I say another day that ends in Y.
Oh. As a security consultant for a newly launched information technology company, you have assisted in the security planning process to ensure the best security controls are in place. However, an organization cannot realistically plan for every situation, so processes and procedures must be fluid and adjusted as security issues arise. With all things considered, the company has asked you to extend your consulting work past the initial planning process to assist with any security issues that arise in the first few months of business. You will also help select security controls to resolve any issues. All right. It's Friday in Australia, Laura Flora says. IT admin, scenario number 1. Last attack did some real damage. We need to add systems that identify malicious activity on our network immediately.
Yep, so we need a technical control. Functional type remediation needed. What are the options here? So managerial, operational, physical, technical. Okay.
And remember, as we go through these and you're studying on your own to kind of understand, well, what's an operational control look like? And we know the operational controls are the day-to-day, right? People checking badges, the security guard at the front, the day-to-day operations in the controls. Managerial, I always think of as coming from policies coming from top down. Physical controls, those are pretty straightforward. Bollards, locks, cables.
Guards, gates, guns.
Key card readers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and then, of course,
technical, software, hardware.
Yep.
Technology.
Pop quiz. Pen testing. What kind of control is it?
Evasive.
Pen
It's an
testing.
operational. It's an operational control. Yep.
Operational control.
Yep.
I tried to say that at the same time you did because then I knew I'd be somewhat right. Functional type remediation needed.
Detective. Okay, let me explain why. So we need to add systems, technical, to identify malicious activity. So you're going to want something that detects.
Yep.
And then control remediation needed. What are our options there? Set up firewall. I'm going to guess they're wanting you to think it's a next-gen firewall, which can detect malicious traffic, has IDSs in it.
Our next-gen firewall is stateful or stateless?
They are stateless, right? Stateless, because stateful... I can never remember the difference.
Stateless doesn't have a memory, basically. Like HTTPS is a stateless protocol. That's why we have session cookies, because it doesn't remember anything. I think it's not part of. So that's a rabbit down the.
No, that is a part of Security Plus. They ask you about it. Oh crap! I'm just trying to remember, because stateful is what the old firewalls were. They would take everything in and analyze them before the traffic moved through, but now they're basically analyzing it as it comes. It's both. Let's see.
Yeah, because I mean, your firewalls, the next gen. Depending on which one you have and the features and modules you have, it
could be.
You can inspect SSL traffic. You can pretty much do man-in-the-middle inspections. You can do all kinds of stuff. So I don't think stateless really applies.
Stateless is what the old ones were. I had them mixed up.
I guess it depends on what controls you have built into the firewall. What packet inspections, controls, like web filters, all that stuff are enabled and configured.
So ChatGPT on a quick scan says that next-gen firewalls incorporate stateful inspection along with additional features. So. All right.
Yeah, stateful. Yeah, as Laura Flores says, stateful is enterprise, stateless is residential. Yeah, that one's the one that I always got messed up with. The firewalls were not something that I was always good with. Stateful firewalls.
All right. Scenario number 2: CEO. Our employees are visiting bad, unsecure websites way too often, but we have stated that they shouldn't be doing this. Oh, but have we even stated, CEO, but have we even stated they shouldn't be doing this yet?
Can we just say that's a failure on the network team?
Operational, physical, or technical? I'm going with managerial right away. I see CEO, and he's saying, have we even stated this anywhere in policy? Have we brought this to our teams?
That's a good, managerial.
To me, I think that's a technical because your firewall network admin freaking failed. He didn't put proper controls when he configured the firewall.
Yeah, but we don't even have a policy in place that says you can't go there.
Yep.
But did you have a proper SOP to configure the firewall in the correct state? This is why I suck.
Directive.
Directive and control remediation type.
Is that an F-bomb? Did you just drop an F-bomb?
Me? No.
No. Oh.
I started to cut him off with a CK as he was saying something else, I think. All right, the CIO. It appears that anyone could possibly walk into the server room. We need to evaluate and ensure that only authorized people can enter.
Physical. We hire a person to sit behind the door with a shotgun and an ID list. No, it's a physical control. We want to make sure people are coming into the room and they're only the authorized people.
Space Tacos, GRC Mafia hashtag policy. He follows it up by saying it all starts with policy. Remember, though, compliance does not equal security. Functional type remediation needed.
But security does meet compliance.
This would be we need to ensure and evaluate only authorized people can enter. That would be preventative because you're preventing them from enter. Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Hire a person to install a door. We need a contractor. Control remediation needed. Badge.
Key card.
Boop, boop.
Or key card, yeah.
Boop, boop. All right.
That's probably the only one that I really understand.
The easiest PBQ yet.
Yeah, I'm going to spend some time with these, and I might even go through ahead of time for next session so we can kind of better explain. We really went into this. I downloaded the thing. Joseph was with me when I entered in my key. Yes, let's go. Good job, fam.
8 out of 9. Oh, it's not managerial. What is it then?
Operational. I knew
Oh.
it.
And this is why he makes the money.
Good job, team. All right, we can do a few more questions. Let's roll to some multiple choice.
Hey,
More
didn't your
multiple
wife
choice.
say 6:15?
She just emailed because I wanted to honor that, but I said, "Hey, where are we at?" She goes, "You guys can do a few more." But before we do that, and I almost forgot, let's take our session sponsor, Simply Cyber.
Are you feeling lost in the vast world of cybersecurity, overwhelmed by technical jargon and confusing career paths? You're not alone. That's why I built Simply Cyber. Hi, I'm Dr. Gerald Ozier. Come join Simply Cyber, your supportive and inclusive community for navigating the exciting world of cyber. There's so much to take advantage of. Master the skills you need with Simply Cyber Academy, offering in-depth courses aligned with the GRC analyst role. Never feel isolated. Connect with fellow cyber enthusiasts and professionals in our thriving Discord server. Ask questions, get feedback, share your journey. Check out the Simply Cyber YouTube channel, delivering insightful interviews. What are your thoughts around, web app pen testing as entry level? And I included bug bounty here because that's very accessible to everybody. Practical skill demos and daily cyber threat briefs, all hosted by industry experts. There's so much more to discover. Are you ready to join the community and empower your future? Visit simplycyber.io/socials for all the links and start your cyber adventure today.
Woo! Thank you, Dr. Jerry Ozier and the Simply Cyber crew for sponsoring tonight's session and future sessions of Slay Security Plus. All right, folks, we're going to go ahead and shut down the questions, and I want to open it up to some AMA. We're honored to have Eric Taylor and Joseph here with us tonight. So chat is open. I will do my best to get those questions up. I'm just going to sit here and really kind of do a little moderating on some questions, but this isn't Ask Me Anything. It can be about cybersecurity, about getting in, maybe some misconceptions in the industry. You can ask what we're drinking, what we're eating for dinner, whatever you want to ask. Hey, silly dogs, welcome to the party, pal. Do a little Ask Me Anything, and we'll open up chat. Real story, Reddy came in after the movie, and if nobody has any questions, I'll start asking some.
Instead of doing the close-up, do the on the bottom left there for your pan out. That way we just have not quite. Zeus.
Oh yeah, that's some Zeus.
There you go.
Here we go.
I mean, I don't mind being all up and personal.
But
But that was a little too up close and personal.
Oh, look at the puppy. Mine's here sleeping.
Mine are downstairs.
MC Raji says, thank you for the practice test. You are very welcome. More to come.
See, you learned because I was going to be a smart butt when you start playing that video. I was like, please stand by 10 seconds for station identity. And I started to say it, and then the video come up, I'm like, oh, okay, that works.
What kind of dog is that, Joseph?
He's a Pomsky. He's
Nice.
a Pomeranian Husky.
Nice. Space Taco's coming in hot. Can Eric share any details about his experience with physical pin testing?
What are you allowed to say?
I honestly don't
Carry
know what
spark
I'm allowed.
plugs for Windows.
Get really good with lockpicks. Get really good with social engineering. That really, really works.
Understand conduit, cable management.
Not for physical pen test.
Yeah,
No.
that's part of physical pen test. See if you can bring.
Yeah, if you want to drill a freaking drill bit through your conduit, sure.
I
Yeah,
guess
penetrate
maybe a
your conduit.
physical assessment.
Yeah, are we talking physical assessment or pen test?
That's true, because nobody's gonna be drilling into cables, cutting things, clipping things, or proof of concept, I guess. You know, in a physical pen test,
because I will do it. There's a thing that's called
Give
a
them
uni-bit.
limits.
There's a thing called a uni-bit, and it just starts off really small, and it just goes step, 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 step. So you can go like 1/8 of an inch all the way up to a 3-inch hole. You just keep drilling in. You actually hit some wires, it's going to be a bad day.
Eric Taylor, did you ever get hired as a custodian in order to enter a building? For work or for a pen test?
Laura, do I know you? Have we talked offline?
Now you've got a tinfoil going.
Was that seriously just like a random question, or does she actually know some of my past crap?
Have you done something like that? Because it sounds like she might have hit the nail on the head.
I got hired by a cleaning firm that was doing work at a specific location, and we use that.
That's
It's
funny.
from Darknet Diaries.
Oh,
Are you
really?
on Darknet Diaries?
No, I've never been on Darknet Diaries.
No, but that's just funny how that ended up lining up. K-Band, with any good virtual events coming up, no in real life ones in my area.
Wow,
You know, do you mean like a big? If you mean like a big conference, the only ones that I know of are Wild West Hacking Fest. That's going to be virtual. Simply CyberCon on November 1st coming up. We'll find more about that tomorrow during the day state of Simply Cyber brief tomorrow. You know what? I recommend attending the Black Hills Information and the Anti-Siphon communities Ask Me Anythings. Joseph, can you tell us a little bit more about those?
Yeah, those happen on Tuesdays at 12 p.m. noon Eastern. Usually it's Zach and a couple other people up on stage answering questions. They have a lot of experience in this field. If you have a question, they're going to have an answer either by somebody in the audience or somebody on stage.
Or John just yelling at you to look at the cats.
Yeah, John isn't ever there because he's usually busy, but the AMA is great. It's a lot like this, but it happens in a Discord channel. So you join the Anti-Siphon Discord, and it happens on a stage channel. You can raise your hand, come up there and talk. Last Tuesday there wasn't a lot of questions being thrown around, so it was essentially just me, Zach, Haircut Fish was there, a couple other people were there, and I can't remember who right now. Kathy Chambers was there. And I think we had a few people pop. Oh, Wade was there, and we all just kind of jaw-jacked and answered the questions as they came in.
Yeah, I love that. I love the idea of, instead of making this conference style thing that feels kind of exclusive, like if you don't get your tickets, you don't get in. I consider, to me, that's a virtual event. Like, and Ask Me Anything that happens on the week. And you glean a lot of information, and that's where you start to really build up that network. Vance Lopez says, after Sec Plus and a good amount of labs, I am in a slump. There is so many different courses, and I don't know what to focus on next to help me transition.
Well, there's a second question that comes with that. What are you trying to do?
Mm-hmm.
I'll tune in that tomorrow. Opportunity. K-Bandwidth happens on Tuesdays.
Not Friday.
Tomorrow, K-Bandwidth is the State of Simply Cyber address Dr. Jerry Ozier will be doing within the Ask Me Anything that Black Hills does, or Anti-Siphon.
Tuesdays.
Black Hills, right, is on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Vance Lopez, I don't blame you, because there is a ton out there. You can get more certs. You can, there's tons of courses. But I go back to exactly what Joseph said. What are you interested in? And it doesn't have to be the most, forget blue team, he says. Okay, that's a good place to start.
Still fairly broad, but
broad.
We'll assume sock work.
SOC
Right.
pen test.
No, pen test red team, but yes.
Oh, he wants to be blue team.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's interested in blue team stuff. What to do next?
More
specifically, SOC or vulnerable
vulnerability.
type work. Okay.
So try Hack Me, Hack the Box. Both have great labs around SOC work. Let's Defend also has good labs. You're gonna want to try and learn what a SIM is, how it works, how really you can dig into this for free on your Windows device if you have one. How are events generated? What do the events mean? Where are they stored? How can you collect them fast using open source tools, because you're not going to be able to get an enterprise tool just working on your own. But how to collect them, what to look at, this is all SOC work, is knowing these different events. Have ChatGPT generate some command line for you, go through and read it and try and figure out what it's doing.
Right, and depending on how structured you like it. Real quick, Berto11010111 says, hey guys, how often do you all hold these study sessions? Every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Here on this channel, we do the CompTIA 701 prep questions community building sessions every week. We may move it to Friday, depending on what my job situation looks like, and there's been a good demand for the Friday. It went over really well. We were fresh. It was in the afternoon. But for now, and for the foreseeable future, it is Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time every week. So this is my Try Hack Me thing pulled up. I do pay. This is what I think about Try Hack Me, and some people agree or can disagree. I think Try Hack Me is great for learning concepts and getting your skills built up. But if you want to test your mettle, I think that either Cyber Defenders or Hack the Box is a great way just to get after it technically. Now, if you want a not CTF approach.
I see your shirt. Sorry, it's not, I just seen what this shirt that Joseph's got.
Yeah.
What is it?
Told you. It's one of our new shirts.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
it's a shirt that says 3389 ransomware deployment code.
Yeah, I love it. I want one. Vance Lopez.
Around the back.
Check out Anti-Siphon's SOC, what is it called? SOC skills course, right? It's a pay what you can course, which can mean zero. But John Strand walks you through hands-on labs that are not CTFs, right? You're not trying to get
Flags, yeah.
You're not trying to get flags. He's walking you through TCP dump. He's walking you through Wireshark. He's walking you through the basics and the fundamentals of SOC analyst work, or, you know, let's say you're just the IT security guy and you're going to kind of be doing it all, but really walks you through a practical SOC, all the SOC skills you need to have. So let me see. Let's go on a quick trip. We'll go back to that. I'll revisit that, and then I got to run. So here's the SOC level, the SOC level 1 course. If you're watching, right, we start off with frameworks. All right, let's enroll so we can see what it looks like.
Shame. Should already be enrolled.
Slacker.
Look, you get to go through cyber threat intelligence, right? Different rooms. Some of them have labs. Some of them, they all should have a lab. Traffic analysis essentials.
That's a good one.
Right? So you go to this room, and some of it's going to be question-based, just reading and answering the question. Some of them you'll be able to visit a fake site like this and start the network traffic. So you can see how it kind of works. And I don't know if we're supposed to do anything here because I haven't looked at it. Yeah. But Try Hack Me's, you know, entry-level courses are a great place to start. I'm a huge fan of the
Hack the Box CDSA is what I've been going through. Oh my god, it is so good. It's not like life-changing, but the way they write their content is great. And
right,
I will vouch for SOC core skills, because that is also very good.
This course right here is really, 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 really good. All right, I really enjoyed it. Let me pull this up. Give me a second, folks. Go to my Anti-Siphon Discord here. See if my lab stuff is still accessible. It might not be because it's been a minute.
Oh my god, it's just got fur everywhere on my desk.
All right, you all should be able to see this. Yep. Intro to the SOC. This is John Strand's course. I'll make it a little bigger. Okay. And this is all freely available. You can just Google it. But look, we start off with Intro to the SOC, Linux command line stuff. Right? We're running stuff, and we're understanding how backpipe works. You're understanding how to do backpipe with a Netcat listener and then get traffic to go where you need it to. And we're not just looking at it from a capture the flag, but really real world, trying to get your hands dirty, is going to cover everything. No, but it's the stuff that you should be understanding as a SOC analyst. Memory analysis. All right, this is all hands up, and you can set it up in your own virtual lab, or you can do, when he's teaching the class, they host a cloud platform that lets you do it live if you don't have the right computer and stuff to do it yourself. But then after that, as you can see, we're using tools like volatility, right? You're going through and you're actually doing the work. You're not just looking through a flag and then saying, click, I got it, what's next? And so I am a huge fan of the anti-siphon, specifically this course.
I will say Cyber Sherlocks, Hack the Box Cyber Sherlocks are also very hands-off like that. They don't give you a VM, they don't give you tools. They're the one that I did, and I do have another one queued up to do. The one that I did gives you a memory dump, a mem dump, and they give you some questions of like, what day was this made? What operating system is this? And all it is just asking you those questions, and then you're just giving it and you go. And that's very much like the real world. You're not gonna have hints towards what you're trying to look for. You're gonna have to answer questions. What user did what? When was this generated? When is your earliest log? What logs do you have left? Because let's be real, most of the time when you get your hands on the computer, there's not exactly much there. At least if the threat actor is being smart, right?
Yeah, the Sherlocks that you're talking about right here.
Mm-hmm.
So, Vance Lopez, I know that's a lot to take in. I would start maybe with either try Hack Me, their SOC skills course, or I would try and get on that SOC analyst, the skills class from Anti-Siphon. One other thing I would point out is
Jerry looks right in that image.
Yeah, he looks like a stoned goat.
The greatest of all time.
I really like my DFIR. My DFIR does some really cool stuff.
Do this over and over again, and I am positive Microsoft.com.
He's running you through some Sysmon stuff, right? Fairly real world. I really enjoyed his stuff.
Think about, we have 4 events, but we're still filtered for the keyword of preventivo.
So we're looking at some Splunk, right? So you're learning a bit of the Splunk language query. I'll put this video in chat. I really like my DFIR. Whoops. Command V, Command C, Command V, Command V. Oops, is that going to give you nothing? I should do it. Go. And then for I've been going through, so for my edification, I've been going through the web app pen testing course from TCM Security. And Alex from TCM Security has this awesome, phenomenal checklist that he types up for people. And then if you're also into red teaming stuff, huge fan of Hackersploit. And I'll link his channel in chat as well. He's back on the game. He's been out of commission for a little bit. He also does a blue team fundamentals course. But I really, between TCM and Hackersploit, I think it's some of the best.
Can you drop Tyler Ramsey's stuff too?
Oh my goodness, yes, absolutely.
I'm such a huge fan of Tyler. You'll actually, if you attend his streams, you'll see me from time to time. I like
I do love.
I love the way he does content, and probably if in the future when I decide what exactly I want to do with content, because I know I want to make stuff, I will probably follow a similar approach where you will watch me get stuff wrong and ultimately figure it out. Because I think that's the best way to show people, because I don't like the YouTube videos where it's just people getting things right over and over and over again.
Yep. Yeah, no, Tyler.
Because that's not the real world.
All right, Quantum Carl, welcome to the party, pal. I see Jason Hoskin Jr. Hey, everybody. It is dinner time. I can smell the pasta cooking. I can smell the Rayo's red sauce, and hopefully it's a homemade meat sauce. I'm really excited for that. I do love Rayo's pasta sauce. Join us every Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. I'd like to extend a special thanks to Eric Taylor. thank you for taking time out of your evening to be here with us. It is awesome having you on the channel.
Thanks for having me, sir.
You're very welcome. Casually Joseph riding shotgun with me as he has been for a while now. I love having you on. Thank you for co-hosting and being such a huge contributor to the Slay Security Plus movement. All of you out. What's up?
Sorry, someone is asking for a channel name. I don't know which one didn't drop.
I dropped Tyler Ramsby's, I dropped Anti-Siphon, and I dropped Hackersploit. Oh, my DFIR. Check that one out as well. I got to roll, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here.